An album titled such as Expectations, should you really have them before listening to it? Something to think about. Expectations is the debut album released by Pruitt. This is a different album review for me. This isn't the first time I reviewed an album from an artist like her. However, a lot of the content in this album is not something that I would normally go through very much. I'm going to be a little bit more vague in how I review this album because a lot of the things mentioned in this album may be implied that I didn't give this album a chance. There are things I liked about the album and there are things are not. Some things I'm going to hold pretty strong to, and other things I'm going to be very honest about because it will be easy for me to be honest about. The arrangements in this album are great. The instrumentation and the emotion that is executed because of the melodies, the harmonies, everything else that makes the music you hear, it's really gorgeous. And there are topics in this album that are easy for me to talk about, and then there's some others where I am going to just kind of choose to not at this present time. But all in all, there was true persuasion, or in a better way stated, real and honest emotional depth that came with it. For the way that an album like this is going to be executed, there's a lot of other people where I'm sure that they would assume that this album is going to take a particular direction in its vocal and lyrical execution, and it doesn't go that way, and I was actually somewhat impressed by that. There are moments where I feel like that's a bit much, and it's mostly to do with certain actual words, not the subjects themselves. But the subjects where I'm personally on ease about, I felt like someone was actually talking to me, and that felt good to be able to feel like, you and I may have a different perspective on what you're singing about, but at least you were genuine and you were not trying to force this upon me. Now that I've kind of said that, I do want to talk about 3 songs on here that I pretty openly can talk about, pretty simple. The first song being Wishful Thinking. This song can kind of speak to anyone on a broad spectrum that tries to get you to understand what grounded love is, rather than this fantasized movie version of love. It's something that a lot of people can struggle with, especially people who still consider themselves single. Then there's the song Out of the Blue. This is another song where I feel like a very particular setting would be perfect. It feels like one of those songs where it's kind of like a, not necessarily gloomy, but kind of one of those cloudy nights where you're experiencing some rain and you just need to have a cuddle buddy, or maybe someone who you have a little bit more of an interest in. And then one song that I did like a lot, it is a C2C song, but I do need to say I was impressed by 99% of this song, the title track, Expectations. This song I feel like can speak to a lot of different ways, even though she may have had a particular direction she was aiming for. But I feel like a song that can speak to anyone, where it feels like you are being told you need to stop thinking about fear in your life, or rather allowing it to be in your life because it's the belief that you cannot do something. That I can understand. I really do. And it's things like that where you need to hear it from music, or you need to hear it from friends who truly care about you, or family members who do look out for you and can somehow get that into your head. They want to push you forward, not hold you back. but push you forward into a better light and to get you out of the ruts that life has. Sometimes that's something you need to do yourself. A lot of times that actually is the case. But hopefully you are able to surround yourself with people who can maybe extend an arm every once in a while. As I mentioned before, there are some subjects that are maybe a little too touchy for me to maybe put in this video, but I'm glad that I was able to feel like I was invited to be able to listen to it anyway. And the only other thing where I have some conflict with this album is, certain words. Aside from that, this is someone who I can say, you know what? You have artistic value. Let's see what else you can do. And Miss Pruitt here, if you are able to do other songs, aside from love songs, I'm not discouraging that, but I'm just curious because some of these songs I can see in another light where I'm thinking, what else can you talk about? Because you have this talent that I feel like you could potentially shed a light on other topics that maybe you have something to say about or some passion on. But I would still love to have that feeling of feeling like even other people of different perspectives or different walks of life might be able to feel invited to listen to you. Because that's what I want to get from music, even from different perspectives where I'm not like, I don't know about this. This is one of those rare occasions where I am listening to someone else share something, but they allowed the music to speak. I heard the lyrics, and I have my opinion on that. But the quality and the substance of the music made me feel like I can take this time and I'm going to be okay with it. And then I can form my opinion. I'm going to share certain things here, and I'll see if anyone else wants to give it a look into. So after having listened and reviewed this album with production of 93%, creativity 85%, expression and lyrics 70%, I'm going to give this album a good. This one's probably a little different. I don't feel like I really needed to use a lot of energy in my videos. I feel like I've been a little bit lackluster in that recently, and so I've been trying to add that, but this one kind of hit me in a different way. So I felt like I just needed to be a little bit more discussionary in a way, or just allow commentary to just let itself loose. I do have genuine interest in anyone who really loved this album, and for anyone who may have had similar issues to it, like I kind of did. So let me know in the comments below. I'm curious what everyone's perspective is when listening to music like this. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff down below so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time.